And Shalom.
Shalom.
First and foremost, all praises to the Heavenly Father and Son, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah, Kodash. Double honors to the apostles, the elders of GMS who rule well. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect. This is GMS Stop and Listen. I'm Preacher Cal, GMS Stop and Listen, GMS Arkansas on location, man. Here with the brother.
Aina from GMS Dallas.
Con, man. And we were just sitting here talking about the conversation, you know, having the conversation we have when we in this time of basically before Jacob's trouble, type of person we ought to be, and how we the manner of life we should be in. And it led us to this exhortation to steadfastness. That's what probably gonna name the title of this lesson. So it's started Philippians 1:27. It says, only let your conversation be as it becometh the gospel of Yahweh Shai Mashiach.
Kind. And, actually, we looked up that word conversation. It basically goes into how your conduct is, right? The way that you, because it's not the word anastrophe. We thought it was anastrophe, but it was, if you want to get, you got it already?
Okay. Politiumai. Politiumai. It says to manage the state, to become a citizen, to conduct oneself in a pledge to some law of life.
You see what I said? To behave as a citizen.
To behave as a citizen. Strong's definition: to behave as a citizen, to let conversation be to live.
Right. So we conduct ourselves, okay, as we have pledged to the life of this scripture, of these scriptures, right? As it says in that precept, okay. Let your conversation, let the way that you conduct yourself be as it becometh in the gospel of Hamashiach.
Okay.
All right. You set a spiritual example.
Okay. This is 1 Corinthians 1:10. Now I beseech you, brethren, by the name of our Lord Yahweh Shai Mashiach, that ye all speak the same thing, and that there be no division among you, but that ye be perfectly joined in the same mind and in the same judgment.
Kind. So we are supposed to be on one accord with one another. The scriptures, the breakdown of the scriptures, okay, should not be of any private interpretation, okay, but it should be according to the doctrine of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, okay. And so that gives the body, more credibility and more strength within itself to basically empower one another, okay, and exhort each other to stay within that path that we're all teaching collectively. See, because when you teach something and and you might slip up or something like that, or you might look at something a particular way, the Most High set up the body for it to be corrected, so that you don't go off on that path, okay, of delusion.
Okay. It says Philippians 1:27. Only let your conversation, right? It says only let your conversation. And in the margin it says conversation is conduct to be worthy of, right? You know, so we not out there being niggas, man.
Okay.
You know, we're trying to walk this life and manner of these scriptures and be perfect as Yahweh Shai was perfect, man. We know we're not totally perfect because we're in the flesh, but we're striving to be as such, man, like the scriptures tell us, man.
Okay.
So we'll have that cloak, that cloak when that day comes, Jacob's trouble.
Okay.
Because the unrighteous is not going to have a cloak, man.
Okay.
They're going to be left for destruction. And it says, only let your conversation be as it becometh the gospel of Hamashiach, that whether I come and see you or else be absent, I may hear of your affairs. Right?
Right. So basically Paul was exhorting the Israelites in Philippi to stay on one accord, not only when he's here, but more so in his absence, right? That goes into integrity, because you don't always have to. If you have your manager looking down at what you're doing all the time, he's he's micromanaging you, he's observing you. You don't have any choice but to be on point. But when he leaves, what are you doing? Are you doing what your job? Are you doing what you're supposed to do? The same aspect can be applied in this truth. You know, when you're away from the body, you're not at camp and you're living your daily life. Okay, how are you conducting yourself? That's what Paul was addressing here. Okay.
Let me see.
I can read.
This one, you said integrity.
Yeah, Con.
This is Psalms 25 and 21. Let integrity and uprightness preserve me, for I wait on thee. So David was saying, let integrity, man, that uprightness, man, like you said, being honest, you know. It says preserve me, let it keep us, man, you know, and we're gonna patiently wait for it, you know.
God.
You know.
Yeah, man. We patiently waiting for the salvation of our nation, man. Okay. And it does take integrity, because there's options and opportunities to sell out every single day here in this place. All right, but we resist those temptations. Is there more?
No, it's well, on that one, let's see. Let's go down. It says, "Redeem Israel, O power, out of all his troubles." That's it.
God.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say that's what Yahweh Shem Yahshua is gonna do, man. Okay, if you read Isaiah 66 and verse 13 and 14, that's what it talks about. The Most High sending His Son Yahushua to redeem His elect, man, and punish the Most High's enemies. Okay, so
it's Psalms 26. It goes in it. It says, "The Psalm of David: Judge me, O Yahweh, for I have walked in mine integrity. I have trusted also in the Lord Yahweh. Therefore I shall not slide," man. So he says he's trusted. He has that. He's had that confidence in Yahweh Shem Yahushua in His word that he won't slide, meaning cause the bait to shake or totter, to waver. Right. So,
not to waver. That's the spirit. That's the spirit. You know, because we're not supposed to waver in this thing, man. Okay, we're not supposed to teeter totter. We're supposed to examine ourselves whether we be in the faith. Okay, take heed how we conduct ourselves, being mindful of the ways that we live, or I should say, the ways that we carry out here in Babylon. Okay.
Yeah, that manner of life, manner of conduct. And it says, hey, that's the spirit. You said that too, because it says, verse 2: "Examine me, O Yahweh, and prove me. Try my reins and my heart," man.
You know,
go ahead.
And we ask you how about Shem Yahshua to examine us to make sure that we're not going off. You know, that's called judging yourself. Okay, that's called examining. That's called self-examination. Okay, because I mean, we're asking you how about Shem Yahshua to examine us. Okay, but we are doing that without anybody having to tell us. Hey, point that out. We nipping that in the bud beforehand. Okay, being proactive about it.
He says, "Try me and test my reins." When you go into that word reins, it goes into affections, which affections are emotions. You know, it says, "Try my mind and my affections," right? So that's what He's gonna do, man. Certain things are gonna happen in this truth, to whether you're gonna stand fast to the scriptures and handle matters like a man, or you're gonna be emotional, man, and waver. You know, a lot of people get emotional and waver from the truth. And then they go waver into what? Other doctrines, man. You know? It says, verse 3, "For thy loving kindness is before my eyes, and I have walked in thy truth," man. It says walked in the truth, you know?
Right. You know, so that way, like I said, is going to lead us either to stay on the straight gate or to fall off. Okay, we either pass or fail this thing. Okay.
Flip back and Philippians 1 and 27. "Only let your conversation be as it becometh the gospel of Messiah, that whether I come and see you or else be absent, I may hear of your affairs, that ye stand fast in the spirit."
Stand fast in the spirit. Can we get that word "stand fast"? If you want to finish.
It says, "Stand fast in the spirit with one mind." Well, I put we can read on. That's a good place to start.
Kind of.
Stand fast.
Yeah, just if you get the word.
Stand fast.
Yeah.
Stako. To stand firm, to preserve, to persist, to keep one standing. It says perfect tense, to be stationary. That is to preserve, to stand fast.
It said to preserve and to persist. Okay, to be persistent meaning to constantly going at it. Okay, not giving up. Okay, there's an old saying that says quitters never win and winners never quit. Okay, and so if we want to be winners, man, in the spirit, we can't quit. We can't give up. We have to be steadfast. We have to stand fast. And I had the precept of Luke.
Go ahead.
All right, this is Luke chapter 6. All right, and verse 47. It says, "Whosoever," and these are the words of Yahushua, by the way. "Whosoever cometh to me and heareth my sayings and doeth them."
Hear the teachings of Yahushua and do them. Right, strive to endeavor to do them. Go ahead.
It says, "I will show you to whom he is like. He is like a man which built an house and digged deep and laid the foundation on a rock."
He laid his foundation on a rock, and the rock is what's solid, right? This is the foundation. These scriptures. This is what's solid, man. Right. This is where we build our house, man. On these scriptures, on Yahweh Shem Yahushua's words. Man.
That's right.
Go ahead.
It says, "And when the flood arose and the stream beat vehemently upon that house."
So when the flood arose and it beat vehemently, meaning it rushed in, it beat real hard against the house. Go ahead.
It says, "And could not shake it, for it was founded upon a rock."
Because it was founded upon a rock, so a rock is solid. So when that water came in and flushed in, it couldn't shake the house. Meaning, when you firm in these scriptures and this is your solid foundation, you're not gonna be shaken and wavered by those other doctrines, man. You're gonna stay with one mind with the people who are one mind and like you. You won't waver and you won't go to other doctrines. That will cause you to basically, when they come at you, you get washed away. Because if something's not stationary, a flood will wash it away. You know what I mean? So you don't want to get washed away in that flood of other doctrines, man. Go ahead, any more?
There's one more verse. It says, verse 49, "But he that heareth and doeth not is like a man that without a foundation built an house upon the earth."
So when you hear these words and you don't take heed and you don't obey the law, statutes, commandments that the Lord has set forth, you're gonna be washed away, man. You're not building your house. If you listen to all these other doctrines, Islam, Buddha, Scientology, Egyptology, those are doctrines that don't have that strong foundation, and the people who are in them have been washed away. And if you waver in those other doctrines, you'll be totally washed away, man. Go ahead.
It says, "Against which the stream did beat vehemently, and immediately it fell, and the ruin of that house was great."
See, the ruin of that house was great, man. So you have to stay to this solid foundation, man. Colossians the 2nd chapter tell you being rooted, man. Right, being built and rooted in this, man. All right, back in Philippians 1:27, "Only let your conversation be as it becometh the gospel of Mashiach, that whether I come and see you or else be absent, I may hear of your affairs, that ye stand fast in one spirit with one mind, striving together for the faith of the gospel."
Right, man. And so that, he's reiterating the importance of, staying fast together, being one body, okay, using each other's strengths, okay, in order to build each other up in the spirit, so that when that time of Jacob's trouble comes and turbulent tribulous times come, guess what? We're rooted in the words of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Okay?
This has got a precept. 2 Thessalonians 2:15. "Therefore, brethren, stand fast and hold the traditions which ye have been taught, whether by word or our epistles, man. By a letter or in person." You know what I mean? So we read these letters. We're getting the knowledge of the scriptures, but we go out in the presence of the people, right? They hear the word openly in the presence of, we being in their presence, So it's kind of like standing fast, like we in this, like we go back to the end of the other scripture where it says, with one mind striving together for the faith of the gospel, we're in this fight together. We're like little cohorts, man. We have that one mind everybody don't have. It's like you ever watched the movie 300, right? It was a small cohort going against millions, and they stayed to the traditions of what they had been taught in war. You know what I mean? They were able to prevail for a period of time. You know what I mean? But it was, ultimately they had to be martyrs. And some of us are gonna be martyrs. We're gonna stand to the end. But they stood to the end. That's the whole thing.
God.
They didn't give in.
God.
So you can't give in to these other doctors, man. You stand stiffly, stand in one mind all the way to the end, whether it be you being beamed up on a chariot or you being a martyr, man, for this thing, man. Go ahead.
It's what you brought on Titus chapter 1, verse 9. It says, holding fast the faithful word, because the Most High's words are faithful, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It says, holding fast the faithful word as he hath been taught, that he may be able by sound doctrine both to exhort and convince the gainsayers. Okay, so we got to be on point in order to be able to distribute knowledge, wisdom, and understanding to those that are without. Okay?
Yep. The ones who speak against the gospel, those are gainsayers. Because they come up all the time, man. They'll speak against this gospel. But hey, that's our job, man. Stand firm and let the scriptures condemn them.
God.
It says, verse 28, back in Philippians 1 and 28, and in nothing terrified by your adversaries, right? Meaning don't be intimidated by your enemies, which is to them an evident token of perdition.
Con. And I got a precept going into the first part of that.
I'll go back and read it.
Okay.
Philippians 1 and 28, and in nothing terrified by your adversaries, right? Go ahead.
Con. All right, this is Psalms 118, and I'm gonna read verse 5. It says, I called upon Yahweh in distress. Yahweh answered me and set me in a large place. Brother talked about earlier how we were some brothers are going to be martyrs. Okay, when we are being a martyr, what do? We call upon Yahweh Shem Shai in distress, and what is he going to do? He's going to answer us, man, and set us in a large place, being the kingdom, man. Okay, Lord willing, we're those men. It says in verse 6, it says, Yahweh is on my side. Okay, I will not fear. What can man do unto me? You see? So we're not supposed to fear. Can you read that part again, Bible?
It says, and in nothing terrified by your adversaries.
We're not supposed to be terrified by our adversaries. Okay? Because Yahweh Shem Shai is on our side. We're advocating for him. Okay? So he's not going to leave us high and dry, man. Okay? He's going to fulfill his end of the promise because his words are faithful. All right?
It says, which is to them an evident token of perdition. So token meaning a sign of what? Destruction. So when you see us out on the highways and byways, on these streets, man, condemning the Edomites and you other nations, it's just a sign of your destruction. When you see the men that's on the highways pushing the truth, the end is near, man.
Okay.
The end is near.
God, I got a precept for you.
Go ahead.
The 2 Thessalonians chapter 1, verse 4. It says, so that we ourselves glory in you, the churches of the Most High, for your patience and faith in all your persecutions and tribulations that ye endure.
All the troubles you're going to go through, all the anguish you're going to go through. But you got to keep that confidence, man.
God.
You got to keep that confidence, and Yahweh Shem Shai has your back.
God.
If you keep your integrity, man, and keep your patience, right, which is confidence, keep being steadfast, hey, and believing, he's already told you, man. He's basically gonna have your back. It tells you in Proverbs 18, man, that name of the Lord is a strong tower. And the righteous, we basically gonna call upon that name, Yahweh Shem Yahushai, man.
Kind of. One more verse.
Go ahead.
Verse 5, which is a manifest a manifest token of the righteousness, of the righteous judgment of the
Righteous
Most High.
judgment, man. That indignation, that thermonuclear destruction, that's gonna be the end. That's righteous judgment. That's gonna be a sign, man. Us being out there is that sign that this judgment is on its way. Go ahead.
That ye may be counted worthy of the kingdom of the Most High.
That you may be counted worthy, man. Right? Worthy being counted worthy, deserving of it. You know, that you be deserving of the kingdom, man. Because 2/3 of our own people are not deserving of it. 2/3 are gonna be, they slated for destruction.
That's right.
You know?
Last little part, it says, for which ye also suffer.
Which we also suffer, man. So we're gonna go through things, man.
God.
You know, we're gonna go through different plights while you're in the truth, man. You know?
Yeah, that's it.
Back in Philippians 1:28 again, it says, and in nothing terror by your adversaries, which is to them an evident token of perdition, but to you of salvation and that of the Most High.
Hey man, so Yahweh Shem Yahushai is showing us that the reason why we're out here on the highways and byways is because, you know, ultimately we believe in Yahweh Shai, all right, and we strive to be that the men that Yahweh Shai set up from the foundation of the earth, okay, to be delivered out of this place, man. Okay, we want the earth to be back in order. We want the earth to be in righteous rulership. Okay, and unless that which was sown gets mowed over and turned upside down, okay, that wickedness, that evilness in the world gets turned upside down and done away with. That thing that is righteous, which is sown, which is the men of the Lord preaching the downfall of America, the elect, the 144,000, the future rulers of the earth under Yahweh Shai, that governmental system that we hope to rule is not going to be set up until Esau, the so-called white man, and his system goes down, man. Okay, so within that is going to take a lot of persecution and tribulation that Satan, the spiritual demon Satan, is going to try to put on us in order to basically weed us out. All right, but ultimately we know that as long as we keep faith in Yahweh Shem Yahushai, we will be able to persist and we will be able to succeed.
That's well said, man. And with that, I'm gonna give all praises to the Heavenly Father and His Son, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakah, Kodash. Double honors to the apostles, the elders of GMS who rule well. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect. This is GMS. Stop and listen, man. Hey, hope this short lesson was edifying. Hey, with that, Shalom.
Shalom.